Alright, everyone. I know technically today isn't isn't Wednesday. Today's Monday. And I normally give you Breaking Bad reviews on Wednesdays. But if you watch my last video, I said from now on I'm not going to really follow a schedule. And this is going to be a continuation thing until I'm not in school. Because right now I'm in school. I'm going to be doing a driver's ed. No, well, some tutoring to get my driver's permit. So, I'm going to have a lot of time issues when it comes to making videos. So, I figured, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to make the videos I want to make. That I feel are important to make right now. And it's going to go for any type of video I make. If I feel like making a video, I'll just upload it right then and there. So, today I'm uploading Breaking Bad. I texted my cousin, actually, a bunch of options about what I should do, because there was a ton of stuff I wanted to do, but I just couldn't make a decision. And he's like, watch Breaking Bad, you can do all this other stuff, anytime you want, but you're not going to get many chances to watch Breaking Bad. That's exactly what I'm doing. I watched the, next episode in the season, and I'm gonna, talk about it now. So this is actually, Season 2. No, it's not. It's Season 3, Episode 2. Sometimes I screw it up. It's Season 2, Episode 3. It's in the bottom, down in the description box. Well, it's in the title of the video. And it's called, and I can't really pronounce the name, but, but it's in the title, but I'm gonna try my best to pronounce it. It's called Caballo sin Nombre. I think that's how you say that. I have no clue what that means. It's something in Spanish. It's I don't know what it means. So then, and it came out on March 28th, 2010. And the episode starts off with Walter White. He's driving his car. He's actually jamming out the music. It's actually a pretty good song. And he gets pulled over by the police. At first I thought he was speeding, but he's like, I wasn't speeding because I have the, the manometer thing. And the officer says, no, you were just, the officer says, no, your windshield is, cracked. And Walter's like, well, it's, shattered because, of the aircraft, the aircraft launch. The debris was by my house. That's why it shattered. But the officer still writes him up. I thought that was hilarious. And Walter's like, you're going to still write me up for this? I mean, I told you the windshield's cracked. I actually completely agree with this case. It's ridiculous. It's nothing you can do. I mean, it's not his fault. I don't really think he should get written up for that. I understand he's got to do his job, but whatever. So he tells Walter, he's like, stay in the car. And Walter's like, Walter just gets out of the car and starts just going off. He just gets pissed. And he's like, this is a free country, I have my rights. And I told you what happened, and you're going to believe me. I have a wife and child at home that were around this accident. And you're not going to believe me. Just starts going off on him, gets really pissed to the point where the officer has to pepper spray him and he arrests him, and then it cuts to the theme song. But I thought this was great. At first I was like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? I thought it seemed boring, but once Walter just went off like that, it was great. And then it cuts to the theme song, and then it plays what's going on currently. Hank is talking about the case that happened when those two guys blew up like the truck and all that. And then he gets a call from Walter. He needs to be bailed out of jail. So, I'm just gonna say now Hank bails him out. He apologizes, and then Walter tells Hank that she doesn't that Skylar's gonna divorce him, and he doesn't want him. She doesn't want him to see the kids anymore. And then what happens next? Jesse goes to his father's house. Well, his parents' house, and we find out that they're gonna sell the house. They kind of had some small talk discussions about it and all that. And Jesse, I guess, has been clean for 43 days. I mean, it obviously has to be. And he looks he looks great, actually. Really healthy, actually. Like, before, he never looked healthy. But now he looks, like, really healthy. It looks great. And they talked about how Walter's meth disappeared, but we obviously knew that. So then, Walter's doing laundry. And Saul comes up. He's like, I haven't heard from you in a while. You don't even call. So then, Saul tells him that Skylar's just bluffing. She's not going to turn Walter in. Because Walter says he's in a downward spiral right now. And she said that she's just bluffing because it will look bad on Hank. Well, she just says the brother-in-law, because he had a meth dealer right under his nose, and he won't he would get, like, fired or something if they wouldn't even put him on another case if they find out about that. But then she says that it's gonna look bad on the kids because the father was a meth, whatever they call it, like a methamphetamine. That's what he calls it. And Skylar's the one that and his wife's the one that told on him. So he tells him, "You're good." But Walter's like, "This isn't just about that. I'm losing my family. I'm losing my wife." So then Saul says, "Well, there's other fish in the sea." Pretty much what he says. He just says there's other fish in the sea. Just to get back on the horse. Get back to doing what you do best. But Walter then says, I'm not the bad guy. So Walter wants no part of this anymore. So then Saul calls his guy. I forget his name. I think his name's Mike or something. And tells him about the situation about Skylar. And yeah, he's going to take care of it. And we're going to find out more about this later on in the episode. So, Walter Jr.'s mad at Skylar. He's mad that, his mom, Skylar just randomly kicked out, Walter, but he doesn't know why. No one's telling him anything. He's not even talking to her. He doesn't even take out his headphones. I think he was playing like a PSP or something. So when Hank and Maria are there, Skylar's calling him Flynn. And then Walter Jr. says, my name's not Flynn. It's Walter Jr. Why don't you even like to say his name? And Skylar says, okay, well, if you want me to call you that, I will. And he's like, it's not just that. You kicked him out for no reason. You act like you don't even love him, but I do. You won't even let him pick me up for school anymore. He was in 4th period, and he cried, and he calls his mom a bitch. This was awesome. And Hank's like, don't call your mom a bitch. Great stuff. So then Hank thinks that Walter cheated on Skylar, but Marie doesn't think it's that because Skylar would have told her by now. That was about it. I totally agree. I think this all happened before that scene, but I'm not sure. Alright, so what do I want? We find Walter Jr. ran away from home, and he goes to Walter's house. And then Jesse goes to Saul's. He gets his money, and Saul wants Jesse to talk to Walter. Says, you built the company, you made all this money, and you're just going to disappear. You can't be doing that. But Jesse tells Saul that he has another job for him. So then we're going to find out a little bit later on what that job is. So then Skylar's at work, and she says that she's not going to rat out Ted for what he did. I don't even remember what he did. I really don't care. It's not really that big of a deal to me. I think it's like that he was losing money or something he didn't say. So Skylar's like, well, what are you going to tell your children? And he says he hasn't thought about that. He just wants to keep himself from high water. But I think Skylar was mainly talking about that just because of the Walter situation. So it's not only just because of that. It's, you know. And then Walter calls and tells Skylar that Walter Jr. is at his house. And he's gonna drop him off. And then Walter Jr. doesn't like this, though. He doesn't like that Walter's getting kicked out of his house and Skylar's treated him this way, but no one's telling him why. And Walter says, let's just look at the positives here. No matter what, we will love you and your sister first. We'll always put you guys first. And they have a nice hug it out segment. And then Walter goes to the Lego grooms. He's going to go see his ex-wife. Well, soon to be ex-wife. So then they get to the house. And Walter has pizza. He bought pizza. And he's like, why don't we eat pizza together? But Skylar wants no part of this. She says, we had an agreement to stay out of our lives. So then Walter takes the pizza and throws it up on the roof because he gets pissed. That was awesome. So then he leaves. And then the next day he gets a call about that. Says, if you can't control yourself, I'm going to offer a restraining order. And Walter's just sleeping on the floor in his underwear. Has like popcorn in his mouth. The burgers, beers, all that. That was pretty funny. And something I haven't mentioned is they go to this elderly home in this episode. And we see those two guys again. And they see Tuco's uncle. So I think there's supposed to be a line with Tuco. I think they're his cousins. So I'm just because it says it on Wikipedia, but I'm just gonna say they are. I'm not really sure if they are, because then again, don't really trust anything you read on Wikipedia. And they're trying to find information about Walter White. They play like Scramble with him to find out his name. And they like dings the bell really a lot of times. It was cool. These guys are just pretty awesome though, just because they're so good at being intimidated. And they're just, I like them. We don't really know, but I like that they're so mysterious. So then, what's the next thing that happens? Walter, we see Mike, Saul's guy. Well, Saul ends up buying the house for Jesse. He goes under an anonymous name, and only offers $4,000 for it because they were charging like $8,000 and something like a lot of money, and they didn't even get more than half than what they wanted. But the reason why they did it is because Saul like blackmailed them about the meth lab stuff, so they caved. So then when Jesse pulls up, they tell him, I own the house now. And he was just so cool about it too, like so straightforward, so nonchalant about it. It really helped it. And then it cuts to the house. Mike goes there and he sets up like a recording, like that, so he can listen to what Skylar and stuff is saying. And Walter goes there at the same time. He can't get in through the keys and stuff, so he crawls in through like the vent, and he gets covered in cobwebs. And he takes a shower. And then Tuco's like cousins pull up. They go into his house. They go into the house because they think Walter still lives there. And they wait on the bed with like an axe so they can like murder him. But Mike calls Gus's like workshop about it and tells him about this problem. So then Walter's about to get out of the shower, and before that he gets out there, they get a text to say to go to Polo's, and when Walter gets out there, they're gone. And I think Walter gets a little bit suspicious about it, and then the episode goes off the air. Well, the episode ends. And that was it. That was the episode. I thought it was actually a pretty damn good episode. I really got enjoyed by this stuff. The stuff with Tuco's cousins, Walter and Skylar, Walter Jr. and Skylar, Jesse and Saul. I thought this was a great episode. Season 3 is actually really good so far, and I'm really enjoying the show. I can't wait. Well, I don't really want to say I can't wait to like finish it, because then I can't watch the show anymore. But I just can't wait to see what happens next. I just love how Walter's there. So something tells me that he's gonna stay there, and Skylar's gonna be pissed about it. So we'll see what happens. And I wonder if Skylar's going to find this recording and think Walter's behind it, but he really isn't. So I just can't wait to see what happens. So that's my review. If you have any thoughts about it, post them in the comments down below. Don't post anything up until this episode, because I don't know what happens, because I'm not reading spoilers. This is as if the show is actually happening for me. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back to do a review at some other point in time this week, but that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.